Hey guys, cheers. Welcome to my channel. This is Ramon with the Rhodesian Connection. So, a lot of people have been asking me questions and they want to get information as to the process of immigrating to Turkey. So I want to share a few things with you today. So before I begin, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And I'm asking you to subscribe because I'm not offering a crappy channel. I'm actually offering you very important information for tourists, for people who want to move here to Turkey. And I hope that all this content that I provide is going to help you make a smoother transition into Turkish life. Please also hit the share and the notification bell right below. So this way, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll have the first opportunity to view it. We're going to talk about 4 things today. So the first thing is going to be the e-visa. That's one of the things you will 100% require before you enter Turkey. The second thing we'll cover is going to be the HES Code. Number 3 on the list is going to be the Turkish Tax ID Number, very important. And finally, we'll talk about the most important thing of all, which is the ikamet, or the residence permit. So, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so point number 1 today is the e-visa. So before you even book your ticket, you should apply for the e-visa. And I will be putting a link at the bottom of this this video, so you can just click on it, and it's a link directly to the government of Turkey to apply for the visa. Just as a heads up to everyone out there, there are a lot of websites online that will fool you. The actual price for the e-visa is $50 US, and there's sites out there that will tell you, oh, get an e-visa and you're gonna pay like $150, $250, all different types of prices. Do not be fooled. Just go to this link that I'm gonna include in this video, and this will give you the exact site where you won't get scammed. Unfortunately, this world is full of scammers, and Turkey has its fair share of those. So just follow the instructions I send you. It's, if you want to write it down, I can just verbally say it. It's Evisa, all in one word, .gov.tr. And you can put a slash with en and a slash // so this way you'll get the English version. Although if you click on that website, it does have a number of different languages, so just use that. And you can pay with the Visa, MasterCard, or American Express, or any other major credit card. And that's a very simple process. It'll take you just about 5 minutes to fill it out. And as soon as you submit your payment, in a couple of seconds later, voila, the e-visa is ready to produce. And then you can go ahead and book your tickets, so you'll be set for the first part of your journey. So what I also want to mention is getting into Turkey, it's a pretty simple process, unlike a lot of other countries that you have to deal with this pandemic situation. So all you really have to do is 72 hours before you board your flight, before you arrive to Istanbul, which is normally the main airport that tourists arrive from. Make sure you do your PCR test, because that's all you need. Whether you're vaccinated, whether you're not vaccinated, it's not an issue. You don't have to have those worries about being stuck in a quarantine hotel and coughing up extra money out of your pocket for no reason. You can use that money for your real vacation time. And just take care of that PCR test. As long as you have a negative PCR test 72 hours before you'll land in Istanbul, you're perfectly fine, and you can enjoy your vacation. So what exactly is a HES code? So HES code was set up by the Ministry of Health and it's just a code that identifies each individual as to their status with COVID. So it's pretty much just a something that every single person that enters Turkey has to get, and it's a very simple process. You could apply it through the link that I put downstairs. That'll give you to the portal where you just fill in a couple of questions, and you submit that, and you'll have your HES code. Pretty much, it'll cover the whole duration of your trip, and some people want to get it maybe when they arrive, but my advice is, apply for the HES code prior to leaving the country that you're coming from, and it's best to do it 72 hours before your flight. And this is something that you will need once you arrive in Turkey, because if you want to go to any government buildings, if you want to go to the malls, you want to go to major public places, they would require that. And of course, public transportation is a must. I'll set a link at the bottom as well. So this way you will have, once you have your HES code, and if you're going to stay in Istanbul and you want to use the public transportation system in Istanbul, you have to get something called the Istanbul card. It's like a metro card that you can just use to board on the trains, the buses, the trams, any other public transportation. And you have to connect your HES code number to the card that you get. And that's a very simple process. I'll show that, so for all the major cities that are out there that most tourists go for, that'll cover Izmir, I'm going to cover Antalya, of course, and even Ankara, which is the capital. So just look for the link down at the bottom of this video in the description box, and you follow that link, and once you have your card in your hands, you can connect your HES code to that card. Because if you don't do this thing, what will happen is it'll be very embarrassing. You might be on a bus or a train and they'll throw you out. So they take this very seriously, guys. So, just follow this very, very carefully. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything, which is the great part. And if you have any questions, please put your comments below, and I'll be glad to assist you further. So alternatively, if you do come to Turkey and you have a Turkish cell phone number, you can also apply for the HES code right here as you land. You'll dial 2023 on your cell phone, and there's a number of things you have to put into the text message. First, you put everything in capital letters. Okay, so the first one's going to be HES, which is the HES code. Second thing, what you have to do is add your passport number, and then you have to also add your year of birth. So if it's 1984, that's what you put in there, and you just each item that you put on the text, you have to separate it by like a one letter, and then you put your surname. So if your name is Jones, Jones, put a space. And the last thing you add on there is the number of days that you need the HES code. So if you're going to be here for 87 days, you just put 87. If you're going to be here for 1,000 days, you put 1,000. So, and then you just send that, and you will receive a HES code via SMS, so by text message. So the next thing we're going to talk about is something called the Vergi Numarasi, which is the tax ID number. It's kind of like a social security number or a TIN number for businesses. And this is also another number that's free. You have to go to the local tax office. So whichever city you plan on staying or conducting business, that would be the office you would choose. So if you're in Istanbul, obviously they've got tax offices over there. Antalya, we've got the same thing here. And the tax ID number is very important because it will fulfill a couple of important things to make your life here much easier. Number one on the list is going to be opening a bank account. You cannot open a bank account just with your passport. So you would need a tax ID number and your passport, and you could go to a number of different banks in Turkey and open an account. So this way, all your business, all your expenses and other things like that, that would be taken care of. If you want to purchase a property, if you want to purchase a car, there's all these different things. They do need a tax ID number. So this is an essential part of your ID that you need to collect. This is also something that you will really require when you apply for the next topic I'll be talking about, which is the ikamet, or the residence permit. So I will put a link at the bottom as well. I will put the information of the tax office in Antalya, and you just go there. Make sure you make a copy of your passport before you get to the front, the page with your photograph, and take your e-visa with you as well. So this way they know exactly who you are and your duration and so forth. And you get your tax ID number the same day. So that's the great thing about having that particular document. All right, guys. So we've reached the final section of this video. I hope what I've put forward so far, it's been beneficial. And now let's talk about the residence permit, or the ikamet. So you first have to apply for the application online, and you can use an agent if you want. If you feel a little bit scared to make a mistake or something like that, but between you and me, you can all do it. It's very simple. They do have a English version of everything, so it'll make you feel much more comfortable. So once you fill out all the pertinent details on the application, you would have to print that out. Upon putting that application through, it will give you a date, which is called a rendezvous, and that's pretty much where you get the interview or the appointment to submit all your documents. So now, before we get to that part, you have to get a couple of things together. So this way your whole transaction is going to be smooth. So first thing you would need to do is get the application, number one. Number two is you need to get 4 biometric photographs. So this you can obtain, it's about 50 lira, approximately. Maybe you'll get somebody that's a little cheaper, but any photographic little store, you just go there, tell them you want biometric pictures for the ikamet, and they'll put everything together for you. The next thing you need is either a contract, which is the rental lease for the property you're going to be staying at, or if you purchase a property, you would need a copy of the deed. Now, this contract, if you do a rental, you would have to get that notarized. Now, prior to the 15th of February, you could go there yourself as the lessee and get that notarized. It's about, I would say about 350, maybe 400 lira, depends, how many documents you have. But now, after the 15th of February, you can no longer do it on your own. You have to go with the owner or the landlord of the property that you're going to be renting, and they would have to be present to get that notarized, because there's been a lot of shenanigans going on in Turkey with people abusing the contract. Basically, what they were doing is they were adding multiple people under the same contract, charging them extra money so they wouldn't be paying as much. And so instead of having, say, originally 2 people that lived in an apartment, all of a sudden it became 10. And so the Turkish government has decided to clamp down on those little scams or those little tricks that people have been doing. And guys, stop doing that. You're making it very hard for the other foreigners that are coming into the country, and obviously you're also giving us a bad name. So let's do everything legally. The The other thing you would need is a copy of your financials. So this way the government will know that you have enough finances to cover whatever duration of the residence permit that you are applying for. Very important on this list is also the health insurance. So some of you may come into this country with international health insurance. So that is perfectly fine. You just put a copy of that health insurance policy and you would be okay. For most of us that have come into this country, we don't have international. So you would have to apply for the health insurance in Turkey. That could cost you anywhere from 5,500 lira to 20,000, depending on your medical situation. So this is something you have to get, and obviously get the health insurance based on which type of residence permit you're applying for. There are 3 different options on the residence permit. The first one is 6 months. The second one is 1 year. And the one that I applied for is the 2-year. Now it's very simple why I chose 2-year, and that is because I don't want the hassle of every 6 months or every year to reapply and go through this whole process again. At least this way I got 2 years to make up my mind. And I think 2 years is going to be a sufficient time for me to decide if Turkey is the place. So I'll keep you posted on that. If you have any questions, please write them in the comment section. I am going to put piece by piece all the documents you need to put together in the description box below, and do not hesitate to ask me anything. My whole purpose with this channel is to make your life as an expat, as a foreigner, much easier. So without further ado, please subscribe. And I'm just only asking for subscriptions because I want to put more content out there, and by people hitting the subscribe button, the like button, and so forth, it just motivates me to share more and more information. So until the next time, thank you for joining my channel, The Rhodesian Connection, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.